You're on the road beyond. Welcome. I'm Todd Duplantis, and we're live at the HCC TV studios this morning, or this afternoon, I should say. My co-host, Doug O'Brien, joins me. Good to see you.
Good to see you. Happy to be here. Don't forget to like, follow, share, and whatever else you can do at the Road Beyond podcast.
It's been a crazy weekend.
Yes.
And last week, by the way, congratulations. Doug posted in his social media last week. I think it was last Tuesday, was it?
Yeah. Monday.
Yeah. He posted a shot of
it was Tuesday.
His hand and his girlfriend's hand next to each other. They both had wedding rings on. So
it was April Fool's Day. It was April Fool's Day.
It's not really the best April Fool's thing.
No, it worked great. Even her mom texted her, just sent a picture of it and said nothing else.
I had a friend,
and I haven't talked to her since.
I had a friend a few years back, and he had just gotten married, and his wife and him are older. And April Fool's, he posted something about them being pregnant. His wife being pregnant. People are like, "What?"
Yeah, no, that I won't go that far.
Boy, social media went after him for that. Like, how dare you?
Well, the one I posted, half the people said, "Oh, congratulations!"
Yeah.
And all it said is, "We have an announcement."
Right.
The announcement was April Fool's.
Yeah.
That was the announcement.
And I was like, wait, what?
The other half, like you, were like, yeah, I don't think so. I mean, it's been 10 years. We haven't gotten married yet. So I don't think we are.
I don't know. I wouldn't be posting that in there. A little touchy, some people. It's a good thing she's a good sport for it.
Yes, I checked
She
with her
was in
first.
on it.
Yeah, I said, are you cool with me doing this? She goes, yeah, absolutely. It'll be funny.
Anything for likes and shares. Yeah. That's why we got this guy here, folks. That's what he's here for.
Yep.
Also, a lot going on in the city of Houston, the nation. Go Cougs. They've got the big game tonight. National championship. I remember the last time they played. I was at college at Stephen F. Austin.
Okay.
And the whole downstairs in the dormitorium, man, it was filled with people and a lot of crying people on campus that night.
Most people forget that U of H was there in 83 and 84.
Right.
Everybody remembers 83 because it was such a heartbreaker.
Right.
But then we lost to Georgetown in 84.
Yeah.
So it's been 41 years. So
it's been a very long time, And
if they win, I'll be working late.
Yeah, because you got to go back to the station and put together something.
Well, I work nights, 7 to midnight, so I'll have to stay a little bit, put together a little sweeper to congratulate them, and it's all worth it, though. Yeah, absolutely worth it.
Oh, it's an incredible feeling in Houston, and it's really across the state in San Antonio where all the Cougs are.
And the way they're playing, I mean, it's like, it makes me nervous.
Yeah.
But it's exciting. And we haven't had this kind of excitement with them in a while. They make the tournament.
Right.
They made the Final Four in 21, but still, it's like,
this is a big different. One.
Yeah, it feels different.
Just feels different. Well, good luck, Cougs. We'll definitely be watching tonight. Big news on social media this week as well. We had a couple of things happen, and we're going to talk about during the show. Some really
just weird.
Weird stuff. One of them, it's some documents that were just released. A declassified CIA project known as Sunstreak. It's a remote viewing initiative. Remote viewing, okay, alleged that the Ark of the Covenant was discovered in 1988, Doug.
Look at this thing. Now, if this triggers a memory of Raiders of the Lost Ark.
You're going to get to that,
that is what he was looking for. But I just want to give an example of remote viewing. I'm going to do it right now. I'm like Kreskin.
Answer is
that's remote viewing, and it's very strange, but
it's a real deal. I mean, they really do this.
It is, but it was also terminated in the 90s, I think, as deemed unsuccessful.
Well, maybe they didn't dig deep enough, but the CIA was using it for quite some time.
True. Now, if you don't know for sure what the Ark of the Covenant is, supposedly it holds the 10 Commandments within it, and quite a few people have looked for it, especially if you recall the Nazis. That's where Raiders of the Lost Ark came from. They were looking at it because Hitler believed in the occult and wanted to use it. But you saw a picture of it there. It's encased in gold, and it's said to have supernatural powers.
Yeah. I mean, they were saying that this thing, they would bring it in battle and just literally mow down their enemies.
Well, yeah, we'll look at it. I mean if it holds...
well, look what it did to those guys at Raiders of the Lost Ark. It melted them like wax,
He said, don't look. Right?
And the big question has been, ever since this thing was lost, where the hell is it?
There.
There you go. Raiders of the Lost Ark. There you go.
It is that... everything from the Bible people have been looking for. The
Yeah.
Ark of the Covenant, Noah's Ark. I mean, anything. There's talk of it being somewhere in the Middle East. Ethiopia is another
Yeah, I mean,
possibility.
that's where the CIA's remote viewers apparently focus their energy on Ethiopia. Now, I saw a special years ago where they said, could the Ark of the Covenant be guarded by these Ethiopian monks? Because they're these monks. They're the only ones that are allowed to go in. It's really in a glorified tent. Those are the guys right there.
Right.
These are the guardians. And apparently they're pretty deadly from what I understand. But these guys are the only ones allowed inside that little temple to go see, so said, Ark.
Right.
And if you go near it, they'll kill you. They'll just take you out.
Well, here's more, I guess, a philosophical question.
Right.
Would it hold as much power if we actually found it? Would it hold so much power not knowing, right? Because all of Christianity is based on faith, right?
Yeah.
So if we found it, would it change our perspective of it?
Well, they say a lot of things are going to change perspective. You know, they say the alien connection could change the perspective of humanity in faith and questioning religion. But the Ark of the Covenant, it's been sought after by many people, including Adolf Hitler and the Nazis. The Nazis were so obsessed, they were looking to uncover all types of ancient artifacts, embarking on numerous expeditions to locate and retrieve relics hidden across the world. But why? What deeper truth were they chasing? And perhaps more importantly, what does our government really know about this? Because there's been a lot of search for this thing.
That begs the bigger question, is going back to the 80s when they were doing the remote viewing. What do they know? Because if we're just finding this out now, what do they know that they haven't told us? And I think that's always the question with the government.
Well, we're always finding out new stuff. I mean, look at the show last week or the week before last, where they were finding these large caverns or possibly cylinders or large springs below where the Great Pyramids of Egypt. And the thought is, was it a power generator? We're just not sure.
And think about this. If they do find the Ark and someone's going to open it, what's going to happen? What will it unleash?
I don't know, but keep your eyes closed.
Absolutely.
Keep your eyes closed. Don't look at it. If we learned anything from Indiana Jones, that you don't open your eyes.
But it also can read your soul, apparently, right?
Apparently it can steal your soul and kill a bunch of Nazis.
I don't know. Some things are better left alone. Have we not learned our lesson? Truly, have we not learned?
I mean, but one thing you were learning, if you look back to, if you go back to the Iliad and the Odyssey and all that, they are finding locations of cities that were in ancient Greek literature. And, even Atlantis is thought to have been, there's been theories as to where that was. So with the Ark of the Covenant, is it out there? A lot of people are thinking it is.
Remember this, they hid it for a reason.
Yeah, probably because it was too powerful.
Well, I have to say I'm on the side of the Ethiopian monks. I'm with them. Let's just leave it.
You gotta wonder though, could you go down there like maybe bribe them with a sandwich or something? Like, hey, look, I'll keep an eye on that.
They're guarding the Ark. I don't think a tuna sandwich is gonna
How often does somebody offer these guys a tuna sandwich? Come on now. I mean, somebody can offer them.
You go try it. Okay. I'll host the show next week.
Well, speaking of, we are doing something interesting this weekend.
Yes. What is it? Saturday night.
Yeah.
It's what was it? Sorry.
Hewlett Pacheco.
See, I always want to say, sorry, Hewlett Packard in my head.
No, Sarah Hewlett Pacheco, one of our guests on the show many times.
Yes.
She is a medium, and she's had some paranormal activity at her house. So she's invited us to do an investigation.
I'm very excited about that.
Yeah,
Will we have that in time for the show on Monday?
We'll talk with our director. He's going to be out there shooting some video. So I know we'll have some video.
Okay.
We could probably get her on the show, especially if we see a ghost or something.
She says that it happens all the time, right?
All the time,
and you've seen it. You've seen it live,
We did a FaceTime thing, and this doll was moving around. It was like weird.
Okay. So that's going to be exciting. And I want to ask her about the remote viewing too, because being a medium, I think she would be able to understand it better. Yeah.
Well, we mentioned Adolf Hitler, and we've got another segment of this show where we're going to be talking about a theory that Hitler did not die. The rumor was, or the facts that the Allies said, was that he committed suicide in a bunker when Germany was being invaded by the Allies. Well, could that not be true? Could he have survived and even fathered 2 children and lived to the 60s?
Let's hope not,
Well,
but we'll find out.
Argentina said, yeah, it happened. CIA files been released, and we'll talk more about that when we return on the Road Beyond podcast. We're back in 60 seconds.
When I grow up, I want to work in a lab to build robots.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
Things could be stranger, but I don't know how. I'm going through changes now. Could spend a lifetime trying to figure it out. I'm going through changes, through all of the strangeness. I'm going through changes now.
Where's your emergency?
Welcome back to the Road Beyond podcast. We've been talking about the search for the Ark of the Covenant, also the Germans searching for it during World War II. Hitler wanted it. Now, we were always taught Hitler died in the bunker with Eva Braun as the Allies were pouring into Germany. But did he?
Well, according to Argentina, in fact, Argentina will declassify government files on Nazi fugitives who fled there after World War II, potentially revealing Nazi-linked bank accounts and details of escape routes known as rat lines. Now, up to 10,000 Nazis and war criminals are believed to have escaped Germany, fleeing to Argentina and other Latin countries. Pretty mind-boggling, but I guess this is, you've been hearing about this for years.
Yes, and people actually have done studies or really, I guess, more excavations of some properties there. But among the high-profile figures, I want to make sure I get this right. Adolf Eichmann, who is one of the most wanted Nazis, he is the architect of the final solution. He was eventually captured by Israeli agents in 1960 and executed. But also another man who made his way to Argentina was Joseph Mengele, who is also known as the Angel of Death. They love their nicknames.
Yeah.
He evaded capture, died in Brazil in 1979. But I mean, there have been rumors and stories, well, not rumors, but actual facts of several Nazis
from the 70s, Boys from Brazil.
Oh,
remember that?
Absolutely.
Great book. And
a lot of it is because Juan Perón loved his fascist ideologies and he helped them come. The real question is, did Hitler make it to Argentina?
I mean,
or South America in general?
We know a number of them escaped to South America. However, persistent rumors suggest Adolf Hitler may have also fled to South America through mainstream, though mainstream historians agree he died in Berlin in 1980 or 1945. A 2017 CIA document revealed intelligence inquiries into claims that Hitler was alive in South America as late as 1955. Also, there are claims and rumors that he fathered 2 children and remarried.
Yes. Now, first of all, it has never been proven that Hitler had any kids. There is a French woman who some claim he may have had an illegitimate child with.
Yeah, that could have never happened.
I'm just saying. Someone wrote a book about it as well, and apparently it is also told that Hitler had intimacy issues, which makes the whole children thing less likely.
You know, it was said that they kept him pumped up on amphetamines.
Right.
You know, so he was methed out most of the time, basically.
You know what great leader isn't?
Yeah, I mean, he was.
Jeez.
He was high. He was.
Yeah.
Anyway, this declassification follows a request from U.S. Senator Chuck Grassley, who is investigating Credit Suisse's, is that how you pronounce it? Suisse's?
Sure.
Sure. Historical ties to Nazi fugitives. President Javier Milei has pledged full cooperation with the support from the Simon Wiesenthal Center, known for their services in tracking down Nazis. I'm sure we're going to hear a lot more on this as it moves forward.
It's been, let me do my math real quick, 80 years.
Yeah.
if they haven't tracked him down now, and even if
Let
they
it go.
did,
Yeah,
even
yeah,
if they did,
yeah.
what happens?
Yeah.
Like, what's the end game? That's what I always like.
Well, I think, is there an end game, or people just want to know the truth? It's kind of like the JFK
True.
files have been released now. We're hearing the RFK files, Martin Luther King Jr., his
Yep.
file, and then also the 9/11 8-page report.
That one, because
Yeah.
it's more recent, and it also goes to a more recent government and people
Right.
that are still seated in power.
But I think people
So
just want to know what really happened.
I
at
can
this
see
point.
that.
With the 9/11 files, somebody could
That-
be going to jail over that. You
That
know,
one-
I mean, that one's still out there, and a lot of the people are still alive now. The other ones, most of them are deceased, including.
I don't know.
Hitler
I don't
connections.
know if we'll ever get the true story on JFK, RFK, MLK, or
Well-
with Hitler. I just, the whole thing. I don't know. It is a better story that he died in
Yeah.
1945. It's a better story that he committed suicide to show what a coward
Right.
he was.
Right.
But yeah, if he made it to Brazil, as we know a lot did, that it would change history without a doubt.
Well, I mean, like I said, you mentioned end game. Maybe the end game is just getting the truth out there as to what really happened. We do know that several Nazi-related individuals and
Yes.
members of the party and the military did flee. That's
Yes,
proven. With that
absolutely.
one in Brazil that was put to trial. They finally caught up with him. And there are famous Nazi hunters. I think it was recently a Al Pacino movie that was on Netflix.
Well, and Law and Order has
Well.
actually done an episode on it as
So
well.
it's
So I mean,
boys from Brazil,
Yep.
you know.
think about this though. If Hitler had kids, can you imagine admitting or letting people know that you're
Yeah,
a child or a grandchild, a
Blood
direct descendant
of Hitler. Yeah.
I think if I was just a guy and my name was even close to Hitler, I would change it.
Yeah,
you know,
not even gonna
I
go there. Don't want to be attached.
Can you imagine us doing this show and say, "Here's
Yeah,
my
of
go, Todd Hitler"?
Yeah, Billy Hitler.
That-
Yeah,
not going to
no,
work.
No, that wouldn't work at all. A lot is out there right now, but one thing I do find somewhat refreshing. I mean, and there's also been a congressional committee that's been put together to expose some of these truths. And it's not just Republican, it's not just Democrats.
Right.
They're all coming across party lines. And the
Yes.
same with the UFO disclosure, the UAP disclosure. You're seeing people from both sides. Hell, you can't get them to work on anything else, but this is something everybody seems to want to get on board with.
Well, and the more recent, like the UAPs,
Yeah.
you mentioned the 9/11 Commission,
Right.
those definitely have impact on us as a country.
Yeah.
And just who's hiding what, how far will people go to hide certain things? I can understand. I mean, again, it would not shock me if we got information that Hitler made it to Argentina, because
Yeah.
again, it is a better story for the Allies that Hitler is dead, he committed suicide, it's over.
Yeah.
That is a better story, and it works for the world. But it wouldn't shock me if we found out
Yeah,
differently.
because your last thing was, well, we lost him. you
Yeah.
know. But then again, when we went into Iraq and Afghanistan, we were looking for Osama bin Laden.
Yeah.
And it took them years.
Oh,
and they
absolutely.
finally got him, and Obama's team was able to take him out. So, I mean, they were able,
Yep.
he got away,
Yep.
they were going after him. They had that one battle that was happening. From what I understand, they knew he was in this mountain fighting with our troops, but he was somehow able to escape. Years later, they caught up with him.
It is that one's a little different in
Yeah.
my opinion, only because you're talking about a system of caves. You're not talking about
Yeah.
an advanced society, I guess. Whereas if you look at Germany in the 40s, it was a well-established society. They had escape routes. They had Austria. They had other parts of Europe.
They
So
also
it
had a
was
lot of
easier to get
cash,
away. Yes.
a lot of cash and a lot of hardware to get him out of there
Yeah.
or get people out of there, sneak them out of the
And
country.
many claim that that's actually what defeated the Germans, is that they ran out of cash.
Yeah,
They ran
yeah.
out of money, that we just bled them dry, to bled their bank accounts, which again would tie us back to Argentina and
Yeah.
the Swiss bank and all the money there, because it would be nice to see that money returned or given to people who suffered
Yeah,
at the
right.
hands of Hitler and the SS.
I'm sure there'll be a lot of people in line for a check from that, situation.
Absolutely.
Of course, we will keep up with any type of classified files as they're being released. Certainly a lot of it out there that's waiting to be discovered. Okay, we are going to take
I have
another
a- I
break.
have an important
Yeah,
question.
yeah.
Do we have bears?
We got bears.
Okay.
Yeah, we've got bears.
That's the important thing.
That's what I was going to say. We've got bears and more coming up right after this.
When I grow up, I want to work in a hospital.
From classroom to career, we're with you every step. Register for real-world education at hccs.edu.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Hey, Bobo, do trees tell each other stories?
I'm sorry. I'm afraid I don't know that.
Hey, why don't we go find out? Listen.
Welcome back to the Road Beyond podcast. It's been a very dark show so far. We've had some heavy topics we've been throwing out.
Usually it's fun and weird.
Yeah.
This one just went dark.
Well, there's some crazy stuff on the internet.
True,
we
but
were able to dig into.
we always love. First, I would like us to go back and trace how we got onto this, but it's time for bare necessities.
Yes, that's right. So, first one, you sent this in.
Yeah, I saw this.
This is pretty bizarre. So you're driving down the road. There's a bear. You go to throw something for the bear, and he misses, and that bear's got a heck of a side eye.
That is bombastic
He's like,
side eye.
look
right
at you,
there.
man. Can you? That was terrible.
Like, really, I'm right here, and you throw it in through the
log.
hole there.
Yeah.
Seriously.
That's one. And then our director, Nathan, sent in some videos.
Okay.
So I've saved those. Here's one of them, though. Just think it's time to go out to the pool. It's a bit of a long video, but we can watch some of it. You're going to go out to a pool. There's your pool, and your bear just happens to be walking around. Now, apparently this bear was checking the pool out so that the bear could bring back its children.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So you got the bear, and then a couple of other bears are going to join it. But
It's
yeah,
family day at the pool.
it's family day at someone's pool. But I guess when you're living in the wilderness like this, it's something you come to expect, finding a bear in your pool.
I'm just always amazed at how calm the people are. They have the door open,
Yeah.
going, "Hey, get away from here!" Like you're talking to a
There
person.
he is. He brought the kids back with him. He went and picked up the kids.
He's wanting sandwiches and some
Yeah.
lemonade.
Maybe we should send him down to that Ethiopian guy guarding the Ark of the Covenant instead of a
Right.
sandwich. Send a bear. 3 of them. So there you go.
That is crazy. That's not the first one I've seen of bears at a pool. But summertime,
Yeah.
it's hot. You can totally understand it. But there is one. I don't know if you guys have shown it here before I came along, but of a guy sleeping at a pool, and the bear comes up and like nibbles on his shoe and wakes him up and scares the
I'd scare the
crap
heck out of him. Yeah, no, I haven't
Oh,
seen
okay.
that one yet.
I'll
Find
get it
that
to
one.
you. I
That'll be on a
absolutely will.
future show. And as we mentioned, we've got a special assignment this weekend where we're going out to, I believe she's down near Manville.
Okay, yeah, I know it's
Dickinson,
south of here.
Manville
Right.
area. Yeah. And Sarah Hewlett Pacheco is one of our guests. She's been on the show a few times. She is a psychic and has communicated with spirits pretty much all of her life, from what she told us.
The way it's been explained to me is that stuff happens there all the time, and that we will not be disappointed. Drawers open. You've seen
Dolls move. Yeah, things move around.
As long as we have a signed agreement
Yeah.
with the ghosts to stay there,
Well,
I am more than happy to go.
you don't want to kick them out. True story. You remember the spaghetti warehouse down
Oh,
there?
absolutely.
Yeah,
I
great.
live not far from there, actually.
Right. I love that place. No longer around thanks to Hurricane Harvey. Anyway, back when we were doing the first version of this show, we used to go to the spaghetti warehouse to do video recording. They do make you sign
Really?
a release and a statement when you go in saying that if you contact spirits, you will not release them from this area
Okay.
If you bring a psychic with you, you can't have the psychic like tell them to go to the light.
Oh, I see.
They want the spirits there. They want to keep them trapped in there.
What are they paying rent? They have a lease?
Well, it obviously
That's
didn't end
nuts.
that well for the establishment.
No, it's now a pub, but I don't know. We need to find out. I'll have to stop by on my way home and ask them if they're still having activity there.
Issues. Yeah, probably
after
go.
the
We have
flood.
no idea what you people are talking about.
They may not, but
Yeah.
I've experienced some ghost activity, and I am really looking forward to Saturday night.
Did you tell your ghost story on the air?
Which one? The one that was in Gettysburg, or
no, the one here, the one at your girlfriend's house.
I think we may have mentioned. I'll tell it briefly. So late at night, it's about 3 a.m. I decided to go get something to drink. All right, so I always have a Dr. Pepper. I needed a Dr. Pepper. As I'm walking into the kitchen, I swear I see something out of the corner of my eye, and I turn around. And I saw this figure in white.
Yeah.
And it walked toward another part of, I just walked into the kitchen. And there was a piano over there. And I swear I thought I was going to hear the piano play. Like,
yeah,
it makes no sense at 3 a.m. I thought maybe it was her mom. I didn't know. So I actually stop and go back around. There's nothing there. But I can draw you exactly what I saw. A few weeks later, Jacqueline saw the same thing in a different part of the house, and she described exactly the same thing. We saw the side. It's like it's wearing a white robe.
Yeah.
It's about 6 feet tall. Yeah, 100%. I don't know what it was, but it was something.
Those are the type of stories we're going to have for you
Yes.
next week on the show when we recount our investigation in Dickinson.
I also had one in Gettysburg. I'll tell you about another time.
We'll tell you about that next week
Yeah.
as well. We're out of time this week. We'll see you next week on the Road Beyond podcast.
Go Cougs.